Hi Year 12, here are my answers to the 2020 trial, what I asked you to do on Monday the 2nd of August. So my suggestions is that you highlight the parts of the questions you need as you read them. Okay, that will help you pick apart and figure out what you actually need to do. So question 16 said the cost of printing leaflets advertising a new business is given by the equation C equals P plus 0.28N, where P is a fixed cost and N is the number of copies the business requires printed. The business manager paid a total of $3,240 to have 8,000 leaflets printed. What amount was the fixed cost of printing the leaflets? So I rewrote the formula. I put the information in where I thought it went, so that paid a total of, so that was your C price, and number of leaflets was the N. So there you go, I put that into a formula. 3,240 equals P plus 0.28 times 8,000. I multiplied the 0.28 times 8,000 first. That gave me 2,240, and then I subtracted 2,240 from both sides of the equation, and that got me my fixed cost. Now I just made a little note there. I always highlight the very last line of any question, because that's usually telling you what they actually want you to do. Alright, next question. This one was a bit tricky. It says David buys a watch from Italy for €1,025, which includes a 21% value added tax. So it's that's what Londoners call GST pretty much. When the watch arrives in Australia, the VAT has been deducted, but the Australian government adds both a 5% import duty fee and a 10% goods and services tax to the base price after the conversion to Australian dollars. If €1 is equivalent to 1.5825 Australian dollars, what amount in total does David pay for the price for the watch in Australian dollars? Alright, so the first thing I need to do was I needed to work out what was the price of the watch before the VAT was added. So I know VAT is 21, so I added 21% to 100% and I got 121%. So then I did this bit of working out. I used what's called the unitary method, where 121% equals the €1,025. I divided both sides by 121 to work out what 1% was. That gave me 8.47107 ... Now I needed to work out 100%. Remember, 100% is the original price before the GST or VAT in this case. So times that by 100, and I got that the watch was €847.11 before the tax was added on. So my next step was here. It told me to figure out add GST before or after I converted it to Australian dollars. So I took my answer of €847 and 11, whatever they use, cents maybe, and I multiplied it by the conversion rate up here. Okay, so that gave me $1,340.55. So that's how much the watch is before our own GST is added. So then the third thing I had to do was I had to add on the 5% import and the 10% GST. Now I needed to do that, both of them, on the original cost of the watch from over here. So don't accidentally, do the GST, add that on, and then 5% of the new price with the GST already added on. So don't do that, okay? So because I had to do it on the price before any GST was added on, I added my GST 10% and my import percentage 5% together to get 15%. Now, if you don't like doing it this way, I added those together, I got 115%, and I multiplied my $1,340.55 times my 115%, and that gave me this amount here, $1,541.63. Now I did a different style of working down here. You may be used to this. You could have found 5% of 1,340 and then 10% of the 1,340, found those separately, which I did there. Then I added them together and then I added them on to the price. Either way, you still got the right amount. Okay? Got the correct answer either way. Alright, this one here. In a medical research study, it was found that data relating to the amount of regular exercise people undertake compared to their body fat gave a Pearson's correlation coefficient of -0.8. You don't really have to worry about the Pearson's bit, but you do need to know what a correlation coefficient is. What does this correlation suggest about the association between exercise and body fat for the people who undertook the study? Alright, well first of all you need to know that the negative coefficient means that the graph is a downwards gradient graph, isn't it? And 0.8 means it's close to a straight line but not quite. So I drew here roughly what I thought it would look like to give me an idea. And basically it's either the more you exercise the less body fat you have, or you could have said as body fat increases, the amount of exercise decreases. No matter what you do, if it says a negative coefficient, you have to show that as one of the issues, body fat or exercise, as one of them increases, the other one decreases. It shouldn't really matter which way you say it, okay? So that's why I wrote both. So there's two there. So you can either say the more you exercise, the less body fat you have, or you can say as body fat increases, the exercise decreases. I would probably suggest you use the words increases and decreases rather than more you exercise, less body fat you have. You do have to show that one increases as the other decreases. Just watch out for that. They do look for that when they're marking. Question 19 said, a semicircular arch has been built on the front face of the arch with dimensions is shown below. What is the perimeter? So we have to work out the perimeter. So the first thing I did was I wrote down all my formulas. Perimeter formulas are 2 pi r or pi d. You can use whichever ones you want. And I worked out all my diameters and radiuses. So in red, I've got the diameter and the radius of the big circle. And in blue, I've got the diameter and the radius of the little circle. So then I know I won't make any mistakes there. So first of all, I did the outside of the big circle. So I used the pi d formula. I have half a circle, so I did a half times pi times the diameter. Okay, now the diameter of the full circle is 2.4. No, it's not. No, oh, good. It's 4.8. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing then. I thought I made a mistake. And that equals 7.5. Inside small circle is 2.4. Silly Miss King. And I did a half times pi times 2.4 for that one. Then all I had to do was add those two bits together and then add the two straight parts together, and I got an answer of 13.7. Okay, hopefully that one's not so bad. Now this one over here was a bit tricky. Scientists spray a chemical compound over a swamp to control a weed which is spreading rapidly. The scientists notice that the chemical has an immediate effect in slowing the spread. Doesn't kill them. Notice it doesn't say it doesn't kill them. After some time, the established weeds remain, so they're not dead, but no new weeds appear. On the axis shown, draw a graph n of the number of weeds against t time, showing the effect of the chemical spray. Now this one was a bit tricky. Oh, pardon me. Because they're not actually dying, so it's actually not a going downwards kind of trend. It's actually, they grow fast, but then the growth slows down. So this part of the graph is showing that they're growing fast, and then the weed controller, it's not really a weed killer, is it? The weed killer controller, is just stopping the weeds from sprouting new weeds. So we still have weeds, so you would assume that it would eventually go like this, that the weeds would stay for as long as however, and then they would die a natural death, say in the middle of a drought or in the middle of winter when it's too cold. Okay, so that's why that particular graph goes like that. Okay, and this one, number 21, last but not least for now, 2 dice are rolled simultaneously 540 times. You need to know what is the probability of getting a double 6. So just in case you couldn't remember, you either use this lovely lattice diagram, so there's only one double 6 out of a possible 36, or you could have done 1/6 times 1/6 if you prefer to use the multiplication method. 1 times 1, top times the top is 1. Bottom times the bottom is 36, so that's the other way you could have gotten 1 over 36. Multiply that by the 540 and you get 15 times. Thanks, you 12. I'll do some more very soon. Bye.